For every living thing there comes a time when there is no tomorrow. For these poor souls huddled in ancient Herculaneum, cooked to death by the fires of Mount Vesuvius, that time came in 79 A.D. We were wrong about them for a very long time. Archaeologists and historians assumed that while thousands of people perished at nearby Pompeii from the eruption of Vesuvius, the inhabitants of seaside Herculaneum fared much better. No one was finding their bodies strewn around the archaeological site in the same tragic way that Pompeii was giving up its ghosts. Those clever Herculaneans, we thought, had gotten away before the worst could happen. But then archaeologists stumbled upon the truth, and it was horrifying. Please be advised that the details to follow will be graphic and gruesome. Mount Vesuvius lies along the beautiful Bay of Naples and remains an active volcano today. In 79 A.D., it towered over two major towns, Herculaneum and Pompeii, whose inhabitants knew nothing of its danger until the day it erupted. At first, the wind direction put Pompeii in greater peril, with a smothering ash fall choking the terrified Romans and collapsing their rooftops upon them. But then, in the middle of a terrifying night, the volcano turned its wrath on Herculaneum. When the eruption's first pyroclastic surge swept through the town at 100 miles an hour and 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, any resident who had not already fled was incinerated right where they sat, stood, or lay in bed. With a fraction of a second, their skulls exploded and their soft tissues vanished as that roiling wall of red-hot gas and volcanic debris caught them by surprise. It was a heat so intense that it vitrified one victim's brain into shards of glass. Scientists are now studying that man's neurons and axons as if they had been trapped in a time machine. Archaeologists have been digging at Herculaneum for hundreds of years, taking away the tons of volcanic material that buried the town deep beneath the current land of the living. Until the early 1980s, they had discovered down in that pit of despair only 38 victims, one of them the man with the vitrified brain found lying in his bed at the lower left. In time, archaeologists reached the ancient shoreline that once lapped just outside the walls. Today, that shore is a third of a mile away, stretched out by the same volcanic deposits that swallowed the town. Let's move it back where it was in 79 AD. When excavators reached the ancient water's edge, they finally discovered where many of the Herculaneans had fled. Hoping to escape by sea, they had congregated on the beach and sheltered inside the stone boathouses behind them. Young and old, able-bodied and invalid, they had made their way down the steep stairways in the dead of night, with Vesuvius belching fire in the background. They had come by torchlight, calm and careful, for archaeologists found no trampled bodies along those narrow paths down to the sea. They were waiting, perhaps, for the Roman navy to save them. We know that the fleet commander stationed nearby at Misenum tried to reach them, but he was turned back by violent waves whipped up by the eruption. He too died on a beach farther south at Stabiae. His name was Pliny the Elder, the foremost scientist of his day. But by the time Pliny met his fate, not a single soul at Herculaneum was still alive. The pyroclastic surge had killed them all. On the beach and in the boathouses, archaeologists found the incinerated bodies of more than 300 people. One of them lay flattened face down on the beach, a large, well-armed man carrying carpentry tools and a bag containing 3 gold and 15 silver coins. Was he a soldier or a sailor called to duty, keeping order on the waterfront while clutching his earnings? Was he a builder, perhaps a boatwright, protecting his life savings with sword and swagger? Then again, maybe he was an opportunistic looter, or a bully extorting protection money from frightened stragglers stuck on the beach. It's that money, his and theirs, that tells the tale of this great tragedy. It tells me they were carrying hope into the face of danger, hoped that they would still need that money for tomorrow's bread, lodging, life. It was not wealth they wanted to save, it was wealth they desperately wanted to spend. But of course, they never did. It became an involuntary offering left to us as a tithe of remembrance. We gather it up along with their bones to memorialize their shortened and shattered lives. Let's take a somber look inside just one of these boathouses. This is boathouse number 10. All totaled, archaeologists uncovered the bodies of 41 people crammed inside. There were 6 children, 8 teenagers, and 27 adults. This fellow was 26 years old and suffering from tooth decay. Beside him lay a pouch containing 3 bronze and 3 silver coins. Here is a 33-year-old man with bad teeth and osteoarthritis. He had 3 bronze coins and was being embraced by the 30-year-old beside him. This is a 10-year-old wearing a Saturn necklace but carrying no cash at all. Altogether, only 9 of the 35 adults and teenagers in Boathouse 10 had any money with them. Among those 5 males and 4 females, most had only a few coins, none of them gold. Women carried more of this wealth than men, with one woman, number 7 on the list, owning the lion's share. She also wore expensive jewelry. Even so, she carried a mere fraction of the money found with that armed man we met sprawled dead on the beach. So their money tells us that Boathouse 10 was filled with ordinary people who shared an extraordinary death. 3 of them would never celebrate their 2nd, 3rd, and 7th birthday. 6 would never see their teens, 8 more would not reach 20, and none of them would live to be 40. Most had meager resources. 78% of them had not one coin to carry away into the night. Today, tourists carry more cash with them down to see the ancient boathouses than did the Herculaneans who fled there for their lives. But that is not the greatest irony, for all of this is going to happen again. Vesuvius has erupted more than 40 times since 79 AD, and it will erupt once more, but now with millions of people, not just thousands, in its path. With renewed violence, Vesuvius will remind us that for every living thing there comes a time when there is no tomorrow. I'm Dr. Frank L. Holt. Thank you for watching and sharing another part of my ancient world. Please signal your interest in these videos by liking and subscribing. The buttons are right there on the screen. Thanks again, and I'll see you here next time.